This is a BabyJogger City Elite, and today we're going to talk about loose handles on this model. The same actually applies to a variety of BabyJogger models, anything really with a front-facing seat, so those that are made mostly for jogging. And this loose handle, assuming it's not actually broken on one side, which can also occur down in here, or in the bar itself, but when you have this looseness, what this is the screws that go through the handle and the seat attach, or like the canopy attachment mechanism, and through the central mechanism in the middle, these screws, two on each side, break. Now what's a little bit disturbing about this is that they don't fall out always when they break, because they're breaking along a metal ridge that runs right down the middle from the central locking mechanism. So it can look like you have a nut on one side, a screw on the other, and it can still be broken. And most cases where I wind up having a repair come in that has the actual bar from the central locking mechanism or the handlebar itself broken, also has these broken screws. So my guess is that the screws break first, and that then puts more pressure on these other elements in order to break. So it's something to look for if you have this model. And in this case, there are at least 3 screws broken. And we're going to unscrew them and look at them and replace them. So I'm going to start on this side. I can already feel from the side that it has no nut, which means it's not going to want to screw out. And we're going to have to knock it out. Take something long and thin. In this case, I'll use my replacement screws. And you just want to slide it in. This allows you to hammer it out a bit, where you can then get a hold of it. One second. There we go. So there's a portion of the screw. The other part did break out and fall off somewhere. The next one is the same case. The end with the nut has also fallen off. Go. The second one also broken, and we're gonna have to do the other side as well. So in this case, I can actually see a nut. We'll see if this is the last remaining screw, and you know whether it's broken in the middle if you start to screw it and you look from the other side and you see the screw moving. That means it's still intact. So in this case, it was still intact. In some cases, you'll start screwing it, you'll see the nut, and you won't see the screw moving inside the nut. And that, of course, means that it's broken in the middle and no longer moving. Again, I'm going to just use the pliers to hold under the screw's head while I unscrew it. And this allows me to pull with the pliers and help to pull this out. Okay, so there's the screw as it should look. And you can see right here where the other ones broke, there's a line, and that's from that metal ridge in the middle, putting pressure on the screw there. All right, one more to go. That screw has actually fallen entirely out. Okay, now we're going to put new screws in. I buy these super long. These are all 4mm screws, just so you know, but I buy these super long ones so that I can cut them down to size. I use them in a variety of different repairs and so on. So I'm going to start putting these through, and screwing them back tightly in place. Okay, so now we've replaced those screws, and you will immediately notice that it's much tighter down below here. However, when you're doing this job anyway, you should move up above, and there are a lot of screws up here too. And as the screws below loosen and break, or any screws loosen, it puts more pressure on the rest, and this means that these are likely a little bit loose as well. So if you want a really tight handle, you're then going to want to tighten up all of these screws as well. And then you'll really notice a difference with your stroller, and it'll be a lot safer and prevent it from extra damage. So there's actually 5 screws on each side. Do this side. All of these are a bit loose, I can feel. And the one at the bottom has fallen out, so I'm going to have to bring that from the workshop and fix it. But now, the handle, very tight, and stroller is good to go, at least in relation to the handle. So again, this is an important area of maintenance for your baby jogger, and an important thing to fix if it breaks, and to get it early so that you avoid the costly repair, if you can even get all the parts, of replacing the arms or the central mechanism. I hope this video has been helpful. If it has been, we ask that you subscribe, as it helps us to continue making videos in the future.